It's just being earnest. Right here, right now. As a Warriors fan, I'm grateful for Kevin Durant. As a real Warriors fan, I'm grateful for Kevin Durant. I don't feel like these bandwagon fans know much about basketball, and I don't feel like they appreciate Kevin Durant.
Right.
You know what I mean? And appreciate Kevin Durant coming to the Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
Because as a true Warriors fan, I can tell you, if it wasn't for Kevin Wayne Durant, we would be a one-time champion.
My goodness.
Because of Kevin Durant, the Warriors won 2 in a row.
Correct.
Let's be clear.
Yes.
Lost to the Cleveland Cavaliers and got Kevin Durant and became unbeatable in the 7-game series.
Mm-hmm.
But before that, you can put the length on Steph, just like the Raptors did.
Yeah, we've seen it happen.
Just like Cleveland did.
Yeah.
You know, just like multiple teams have done, just like Oklahoma City did. If it wasn't for the heroics of Klay Thompson, we wouldn't even got out of the Oklahoma City series.
Yeah.
So shout out to Klay Thompson, the greatest Warrior of all time.
He'll be. Oh, okay.
He's my favorite.
Okay.
He's my favorite. I wouldn't say
right.
the greatest, but he's my favorite.
He'll be back in 2 seasons.
He'll be back the season
after this next upcoming season.
He might come back. He might come back by playoffs if the Warriors make the playoffs.
Oh.
What were we gonna? Just being earnest.
We're just talking.
What were we gonna talk about today? Today, I wanted to talk about music and independent artists. And just, you know, the grind and the people striving to make it.
Yeah.
And to get their records heard and constantly, and getting people to support said record.
Mm-hmm.
And get it out there. A lot of people think that because it sounds good to them, that they think it's a hit.
Right.
That doesn't necessarily mean it's going to sound good to everybody else.
Yeah, to each his own.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to me that's the right mentality to have in terms of like you want to make art that you like.
Right.
And it's not for anybody else but for you. But to have a realization that this may not be for everyone. Mm-hmm. And this may not be something that is going to be a marketable piece of art to everyone.
Right. Or somebody thinks people would be like, oh, my stuff should be blowing up.
Right.
Oh, if I had this machine and if I had that machine.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's not necessarily true, man.
No.
And these new kids are proving it.
Greater things have been made with less.
Right.
Yeah.
Your music got to sound right.
Yeah.
It has to sound right sonically.
Mm-hmm.
It has to, what you're saying has to have something that's going to catch people.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and a lot of times they're making whatever, if they think it's good music, it's sure, but it's lacking something.
You know, how does the interaction go when you talk about, like, you're chilling with somebody and you show them an old song that you liked, like, a lot, and I can picture that going like, oh man, you know what this song's about? And then you go on and say that because there's substance in that song.
Right.
Or it's like, man, I remember listening to this song when I was, driving late night coming back from da-da-da-da-da.
Right.
There's substance in there where you could talk about it and refer to that and, like, describe what that means to you.
Yeah.
And what it meant to other people.
Right. Yeah. And your music has to have some type of inflection of that. So a lot of times I hear people that make indie music, hip hop.
Okay.
And the music is like that. Like they're trying to do that. But there's something about it, like, that's, production wise, who's mixing it, who's mastering it. All of that matters. And it matters a lot.
Yeah, that's why there's such a thing as a legendary producer. And why there's legends in the producer realm, like Dr. Dre.
Composers and arrangers. And
yeah, exactly.
You know.
That's why they're held at such a high regard, is because they're really the masterminds.
The hit makers.
The hit makers, yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
And a lot of these people don't get it. Mm-hmm. You need a team. Nobody's doing it by themselves. If you're going to be with a producer, be with that producer. Be honest with each other.
Yeah.
Be honest with each other. Tell each other that ain't it.
But you're not saying that they shouldn't have the mentality of like, oh, I love what I'm doing and I want to do this for my career. You're saying that they need to work smarter rather than harder.
I'm saying those people that are clearly capable should work smarter and harder.
Okay.
I'm saying a lot of people throw in the towel, man.
Yeah, because we know people on both sides of this.
Right.
Because we've seen it. We've pretty much seen it all. We've, to the highest level.
Right.
And to a really good talent that never made it, that worked hard to try to make it. Right.
But most of the really, really good talent, they make it in some type of way.
Ah, yeah. Okay.
They're always making it some type of way. They always have they got a little shows or, I know some young kids, they call themselves Grumpster.
Yes.
And then they out there doing their thing, man. They got their merch and people, they're a punk band.
Yeah. People love them.
Yeah, people love them, man. People follow them around.
Man, I've been to a few of their shows.
Yeah.
And they're definitely like the ones that stand out.
Yeah, this is like some underground, you know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
And that's,
but see, when I see them and when I hear their music, I can totally get why they're popular.
Absolutely.
Like, I can totally understand it.
Absolutely.
Because the music's dope. It sounds great. They took the time to actually go to a great studio and have an engineer that made it sound great.
Right.
And that served the quality of their music. But the shows are off the chain, too.
Right.
So it's just like...
The shows, the shows are where it's at.
Yeah.
And, a lot of, performing for 8 people, 20 people, that just ain't it, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
I that's why I see a lot of it. Like,
yeah.
Come to my show.
Right.
It'd be like 40 people in the crowd, and it'd be like 40 people in the crowd, and or 30 people in the crowd, and 20 people on the stage with, and 2 people with microphones.
Right, exactly. When it comes to making it, something that my father told me about the music business was that
his father's Randy Oda. Go ahead and Google that shit.
Yeah. My dad, he wrote a top 20 hit record in the 80s. It was 1982, and wrote "Think I'm in Love" for Eddie Money.
Right. Don't sing none of that shit on here.
No.
All right. YouTube be tripping.
There you go. But what he taught me was that there's a lot of luck involved in who makes it and who doesn't make it.
Right. Of course. Right.
But the key point that he taught me was that although there's a lot of luck, you create that luck.
Right.
And that's what stuck with me about that. And he reiterated that several times. And
preparation meets opportunity.
Yes. Yeah. So that's how he went about it, and it happened. So
right. That's what luck is. That's what they say.
Right.
When preparation meets opportunity.
When preparation meets opportunity. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
That's luck.
Mm-hmm.
Word, man. We spitting the ism for you today.
Yeah.
I hope if you're an indie artist, you're not offended, or I just hope you get on your grizzly out there.
Yeah, more so of like if you've been at it for so long and you have your material and your records, your EPs, your LPs, and it hasn't happened. Let's take a look at what can you be doing differently instead of doing the same old thing. How largen your circle,
or think of why you're doing it.
Right.
Why are you doing this?
Mm-hmm.
Do you love this? Or do you just want to be famous? Or do you just want to be rich? Or do you want people to respect you? Or why are you doing this exactly?
Right.
You know, if you're doing it for those reasons, this ain't it for you. This is a game. It's a game for people who love it. I mean, you could get lucky. There's people who get lucky nowadays because you have the internet. So you could do a hit song, and that shit'll blow up, but then they won't know about you the next year. There used to be a rapper called Hurricane Chris.
I haven't heard that name in so long.
He had a song called "A Baby," and you know he had that song, and then he was Hurricane Chris. He was gone after that.
Yeah,
it's been a lot of people like that.
Yeah, if there's no substance,
Young MC.
Right. Yeah. Without that something inside and that substance, you don't keep cooking your flash in the pan.
Right. You can't. You don't keep cooking your flash in the pan. We'll be right back. And we in here.
Yep.
All right, man. So as we wrap up the show, they had the Pride today in San Francisco.
Yeah,
I spoke about the Pride last year. I'll just reiterate it again. I'm a little calmed down from when I first wanted to talk about this. I'm a little calmed down. But just wanted to let y'all know there's a celebration called Juneteenth on June 19th. And it celebrates the freeing of the last slaves in Texas, right? You know, and then they had a celebration when they found out that the last slaves were free. They had a celebration. Seems like nobody knows that this is a thing. Just to let you guys know, you know, one of the biggest things ever in history, the freeing of slaves. Anybody care about that? It's a celebration on June 19th. So all the non-blacks and all the blacks, you guys should get together and party, man. Kind of like how the non-gays and the gays get together in tutus and, you know, prance around. You guys can, you know, get together and listen to all the things listen to all the music that black people created. You know?
Yeah.
What is it, like jazz, rock and roll, R&B, hip-hop, stuff like that?
Yeah. All of it.
You know, let's get together. Let's celebrate Juneteenth. Let's give it a chance, people. Come on. The freeing of slaves. American slaves.
It's a huge deal.
That's a big deal. Freeing the slaves is a big deal.
Yes.
June 19th is Juneteenth. Can we get some love? I mean, if everybody is progressive and open-minded, why not celebrate something as big as the freeing of slaves?
You know,
we all get together and well, I personally don't, but people get together and drink on St. Patrick's Day.
Right.
You know, you drinking on St. Patrick's Day. Are you all Irish? I know some of you are, but are you all Irish? You know, why are you drinking on St. Patrick's Day? To support your Irish brethren? Yeah.
Yeah,
you know,
even I go out on Cinco de Mayo.
Cinco de Mayo. American holiday.
Yeah.
An American holiday, you know, appropriating Mexican culture.
Yeah, and I have a ball, and I could have a great time celebrating Juneteenth as well.
They usually have a Juneteenth, you know, in wherever your neighborhood is. They have one in Vallejo. So if you're from the 707 Solano County area out here in California, I'm sure wherever you are on the map, they have a Juneteenth celebration somewhere, and you just didn't know. They got cars. They got all kind of fly cars out there, all kind of stuff.
You know, to be
cooking food, all that.
To be fully transparent with you, Ern, I've been to several restaurants and bars that celebrated St. Patrick's Day and Cinco de Mayo. And a lot of times by accident, I was there at the right place at the right time. Just didn't even know about it. It was just happening.
And you have a great time.
Yeah, and almost everywhere on those days does that.
And there's nothing. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I actually haven't been to a place that celebrated Juneteenth.
I don't like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that it's why isn't it a big part of American culture. I think that should be a big deal.
That's what I was getting to. Is like, why have I never encountered a Juneteenth celebration at a restaurant or a bar?
There's no money in it. There's no money in it. It's money. This is capitalism. Value for value. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I think that, Black Panther will show you that there's value in what black people celebrate.
Yeah. That was a wave of the Wakanda Forever and the
$1 billion movie.
Yeah.
And it was wild, man. It's just it shocks me. Mm-hmm. It shocks me. It hurts my feelings. All of that shit. You know what I mean? It's like, damn, man, you don't give a damn. Like, and then they like try to like mock people that like yell like Black Lives Matter and stuff like that. It's like, damn, I mean, you don't show them no love and nothing. You give them the shortest. You give black people the shortest month of the year for Black History Month, and not only do you give them the shortest month of the year, you know what you do instead of celebrating it, you put the Super Bowl, the Oscars, and the Grammys all on it. I think you got All-Star Weekend. You got Valentine's Day. You know what I'm saying? Am I preaching? Or I just sound crazy?
Well, you're Juneteenth. I mean, like a celebration of in America where a certain race of people stopped being property, where they were allowed to vote. It's a huge deal.
They weren't allowed to vote when they got freed. Let's get that shit straight. Black people weren't allowed to vote. So my oldest cousin is 42 years old, right? Mm-hmm. I think he's 42. My older cousin is 42 or 43 years old, and he was the first person born in my family with all of his rights.
Whoa.
Let's
Whoa.
Can we be real?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was like the third or fourth person. Mm-hmm. Born with all my rights.
Whoa.
You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
My mom wasn't born with all her rights as an American. Mm-hmm. Black people didn't get the right to vote till 1965.
Damn. That's crazy to think about. Shit.
You know what I'm saying? And women after that.
Right.
So it is what it is, man. It's just that's why they ask for things like reparations.
Yeah, well, didn't something with reparations happen recently? There was some kind of
it's a talking point in voting, and with the candidates, it's a talking point with politicians. They're trying to get reparations. They had to test.
Didn't you say they had Danny Glover come and speak about it or something like that?
Yeah, they had Danny Glover, and they had Tahani Coates. He's a famous author. Wrote some great books. They had them up there speaking. And, they just, I can understand you saying, oh, it's going to cost too much money or whatever like that. Like, I can understand that. Like, I understand that argument, even though I don't agree with it. I understand it. Right? But, like, when Mitch McConnell came out and was like, how are we, nobody alive benefited from slavery. That's what he said. He had the audacity to sit up there in front of them cameras and say nobody alive benefited from slavery. Mitch McConnell.
Yeah, of all people.
Mitch McConnell, of all people, who was probably babysat by somebody who owned slaves. Mm-hmm. I guarantee Mitch McConnell's grandpa owned slaves.
Sure.
Yeah. Mitch McConnell went to the University of Kentucky. When Mitch McConnell went to the University of Kentucky, guess what?
There was no black people allowed in that school.
No black people allowed at the University of Kentucky. Mm-hmm.
So by default, he benefited.
He benefited from slavery, absolutely.
Yeah.
When the slaves were freed, all the slave owners were compensated $300 per slave.
Wow.
But no, you don't deserve no reparations, nothing, no land, nothing. Not even if you can prove it. Like, I have books of my family, from I think it was 1865 to 1998, and it just tells the story of they were slaves working on a ferry in Richmond, Virginia, and all of that.
Yeah.
All kinds of wild shit.
Holy shit.
And You know, my great grandpa passed away in 2010. He was 104 when he died.
Jeez.
He was raised by my great grandma, right? Mm-hmm. She was a slave.
Oh shit!
For 100 years of her life, and she was free for the last 5 years. She died at 105.
So she was a slave up until the age of 100.
100. And she died at 105. And check this out. She didn't die. She didn't even. Damn. She was so cold. Her name was Elisa Mothershed.
Wow.
And she didn't even die because she was 105. She died.
What took her out?
She died because she was cooking and burnt her hand and got infected.
Oh my God.
Soldier. Soldier. You know what I'm saying? That's like direct shit I'm telling you. And I just told you about two different sides of both sides of my family.
Right.
My mom's side and my dad's side.
Holy shit.
You know what I mean? And that's just so close enough I can just tell you that I know.
Yeah.
You know. And think of how many other people out there that have just like, they're just second generation from slavery, third generation from slavery. Yeah. They talk to us like it's ancient history. Like, just forget about it. Just forget about that. That if we caught you reading before, you know, the 40s, we'd kill you. No, you're just slow on education.
Which was the norm for a long period of the lifespan of America. Right. You had
400 years of slavery.
That was just like the normal thing.
Yeah. So you had 400 years of slavery. Mm-hmm. Then you had 100 years of Jim Crow laws. Mm-hmm. And here we are today. Oh, and you had 50 years of civil rights. Oh no, that was with Jim Crow. So you had 400 years of slavery, 100 years of Jim Crow law, and here we are today.
Yeah, if we could have a pie chart, you'll see this little sliver would be us right now.
yeah, that's where we are. Yeah. Oh, but nobody benefited from slavery. That didn't affect anything. That didn't
it's
affect.
Like, man, Mitch McConnell, your whole family did, man.
Come on, man. You gonna spit in my face and tell me it's raining? You know? Yeah. We just want to just think about what I said. You know, yeah. I'm not trying to be confrontational. I just want you to think about what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And don't sit up here and act like you never celebrated black people before. You celebrate black people in your car and shit. You turn on that radio. Y'all know the fucking radio. Shit, listening to Prince. I know how y'all do it. Everybody loved Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
You know, if it wasn't for the freeing the slaves, you wouldn't hear no Michael Jackson. Y'all wouldn't know nothing about no James Brown.
Right.
You know, there would be no rock and roll, jazz, any of that.
R&B, soul,
all your favorite stuff.
Motown, all the classic, yeah.
All your favorite stuff, whatever you playing in the club, whatever you playing to get people dancing at your house.
There wouldn't have been a Chuck Berry, and if it weren't for Chuck Berry, there wouldn't have been anything.
Fats Domino. Robert Johnson. Mm-hmm. Come on now, we ain't playing with y'all. Jimi Hendrix,
man.
Come on, man. Tupac Shakur.
Biggie.
Notorious B.I.G. Mm-hmm. I was talking about him earlier.
Yeah.
Wow. What an incredible MC. The Bo Jackson of hip hop. You all would have never saw Bo Jackson if slaves weren't free.
Right.
You'd probably killed Bo Jackson.
Muhammad Ali.
You know, come on, y'all. Let's celebrate it. It should be a big celebration. You got the Juneteenth warm up, and then you got Pride. You know, celebrate Pride is a big thing. Come on, can we catch up a little bit? It's just being earnest. Daniel Oda, somebody should have told you. We out of here. Peace.